Did you know that when you apply to naturalize to become a US citizen, that you sort of get audited? In today's video, I'm gonna talk about what I mean by this. I think you're gonna get a lot of value here, so make sure to stick around till the end. So like I said, when somebody applies to naturalize to become a citizen, the process involves filing a form with USCIS and undergoing various steps, such as attending an interview, having your biometrics taken, taking a civics exam, taking an oath of allegiance to the United States Constitution, and various other steps are involved. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is that throughout this process, it's almost like an audit of sorts, in the sense that USCIS can look into your immigration history for any problematic things in your record. And to make this abundantly clear, I want to give you an example of an actual situation that I heard happened to somebody else. So this person applied to naturalize to become a US citizen, and their naturalization application was ultimately denied. Why? Well, this individual originally got their green card in the United States and became a lawful permanent resident through the asylum process, which is something that many people do. The issue here was that this individual originally came to the United States under an F1 student visa. So they entered the United States as a student. The problem was they got their F1 student visa and they entered the United States and they never attended school in the United States. Rather, upon their admission to the United States as an F1 student, they relatively quickly applied for asylum. So the whole process essentially went unnoticed throughout the asylum process and the green card process. And the person ultimately became a green card holder, became a lawful permanent resident. It wasn't until years later when they applied to naturalize to become a US citizen that this was realized, and ultimately the application for naturalization was denied. So I say this so that you can know that when you're applying for naturalization, you should know again that your books are getting audited, for lack of a better term. And this can come up in a number of circumstances, but basically, if there are certain things that appear to be red flags with how you potentially obtained your green card, how you became a lawful permanent resident, that might very well become noticed at the time that you apply for citizenship. For example, if you get your green card through marriage to a US citizen, and very shortly after you get your green card, you divorce your spouse, and that spouse might go on to petition for somebody else's green card under a marriage process or something like that. Or for example, if you get your green card based on a job offer from a US employer, and you get that green card and you never end up working for that employer, these are red flags that may be picked up at the time that you apply for naturalization. So it's something to be very aware of. Another important thing, it's not just at the naturalization stage where this can become an issue. Nowadays, we're hearing of multiple instances of denaturalization, where somebody's citizenship can essentially be stripped of them through a process called denaturalization. And in recent weeks, if you look at the USCIS news website, you can see multiple news articles referencing efforts made by USCIS to denaturalize certain individuals for various reasons. So it's not just at the time that somebody applies for naturalization that this can be problematic, but even after somebody becomes a citizen through the naturalization process, if there are certain issues. For example, if that individual became a citizen fraudulently, their naturalization could potentially be stripped of them through a process known as denaturalization. So this is some very heavy information, I know, but it's something that you should be aware of. I didn't mean to scare you. I just wanted to present some information to you. I hope you got a lot of value. As always, thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you know anybody that can benefit from this information, please be sure to share this video with them. We're all about empowering you with knowledge. The more people that can watch this video that can benefit, the better. Again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next video.